This one, we're gonna get personal. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the vlog. The breakfast that I was making was not for me. It's for my kids and for Freddie. So Freddie takes, I cook his breakfast the day before, so he's gonna take that to work tomorrow. Whew. I was just pushing Tiago around, so I'm out of breath. Because we pushed again. The plan for today for food is I'm gonna have chicken wings for my first meal, and then I don't know what I'm making for dinner, but we plan on going to the library as well. So today's vlog will be what I eat, but also a few other parts of my life. So yeah, I talked a little bit in my last vlog about how I had not been fasting as long, and so I'm trying to push my meals further back. Okay, mi amor, ya voy. So today I'm gonna try and push it down to like 11:30 or 12. That's what I'm gonna aim for. All I've had right now is coffee, and I'm gonna have chicken wings for my first meal. So I'll talk to you later. I keep having to come back inside to check on Sophia because we're outside playing and she hasn't woken up yet. It's 8:30 and she's still not up, which is so unlike her. But she has been sick, teething symptoms on and off for the past like 2 or 3 weeks. So, and she had a very poor sleep throughout that time. So I think she's like making up for it. But in the meantime, we're enjoying some time outside. Sí, mi amor. Así es. Just got back from the library. The kids were very tired, both of them. So it's a rare day when I can get them both to sleep at the same time, right at the exact same time, so that they both last, you know, a good hour and a half asleep. So today is a great day because I was able to do that. They both went down within like 15 minutes of each other. So I hope that they both go to sleep. Sometimes they don't, and they'll just fuss or play in their room until I go get them. It's about time to get my iced coffee, so I'm gonna go grab one here in a little bit. And I have no idea what I'm going to make for dinner. I've got some thin sliced chicken breast thawing out because I have this chicken flour from Carnivore Crisp that I have no idea how to use. I'm tempted to make, you can still hear Tiago. I am really tempted to make a carnivore pizza, but I don't think I have all the stuff to make it. I'm thawing out some chicken breast, just because we've been eating, like we ate steak yesterday, we ate ground beef the day before, and we've eaten a lot of beef, so it's time for chicken again. Yeah, I have no idea. But while I think about it, let's go make my iced coffee. Okay, here's my iced coffee. Actually, after I made the double espresso, I left it in the fridge for 10 minutes while I washed dishes so that the ice wouldn't melt so quickly. Because if I put the ice, like I used to do it like that, where I would just put the ice in right away and it would melt within a few minutes. So this is better, it lasts a lot longer. I decided I'm not gonna make carnivore pizza. It's just a little bit more complicated than I would like. And for something like that, I like to be prepared. So I might do it in my next vlog. I might try a recipe from somebody, because there's a lot of carnivore pizza. I'm not gonna try nothing new. I'm not gonna be experimenting with it. I'm not the best cook. I like to cook, and if it's something simple or something that I really crave, I will try a recipe, and like I do have several recipes on this channel, but I innately am not someone to experiment too much in the kitchen. So I've gotten asked a couple of times if I plan on going back to work. So you may not know that I have not worked as a registered nurse. I went straight from nursing school to being a stay-at-home mom because I had my boy already. He was a toddler, and I was 6 months pregnant when I became a licensed registered nurse. So I went straight into getting ready for baby, and now she's a toddler herself. She's 13 months actually. So I am still, I am going to go back to work, but I'm still not happy. I wouldn't be happy leaving them. Like I would not be okay leaving them by themselves, so, or leaving them with someone else. So I will not be going soon back to work. I don't know when though. Like that's the real answer. Maybe when Sophia's 3-ish, maybe. Here's the idea, and just because this vlog is a little bit more personal than another vlog, that's why I'm titling it A Day in My Life. It's not just what I eat, but we're gonna get a little bit more personal. And that's why I haven't answered that question, like even in the comments, I don't think I got too into it when someone asked, because it gets a little personal, right? And like in my videos, I share what I eat, I don't get too personal. But this one, we're gonna get personal. I really like staying at home with them. Like this is something that I value so much. I value having these moments, these early, I believe that these are the most important years in their formation as adults. The first 3 to 5 years, I believe, are the most important in their foundation, and there's just no getting them back. Obviously, there's no like getting anything back, but these are just way too important for me to leave to somebody else, especially being that I can, right? Like if I didn't have the option and like I had to go into work, I absolutely would. But we're good. And I've even asked Freddie, like, when do you think you would like kick me out of the house and tell me to go work? And he's like, I think I'm paraphrasing, but I think he said something like, when I can't take care of you guys anymore. Essentially like until he just can't, right? Like if he can't work or something happens to him and he's just unable to work. And I freaking love that. I love that he's able to, and that he wants to, you know, take on that role. And he has ever since we got married, because I've been in and out of school. That's a huge story. That's it's not even worth it for me to say. It's super long. My schooling was just unnecessarily complicated. Let's just put it that way. And so he's been a supporter the entire time. I've been working in and out in between semesters. I worked for 2 years at a family practice before I came into work. So I've been in the medical field. I was a medical assistant in the medical field for 3 years before I went into nursing school. But as a registered nurse, I have not worked. Whew, long-winded answer. But when I do go to work, and I do plan on it being within the next few years, so not anytime like within the next few months, but within the next few years I do. And I don't know if I'm gonna start off like 2 or 3 days a week, because for those of you who don't know, usually, at least here in the US, a typical nurse shift is 12 hours. So you work 3 12s, whether that's consecutive days or, you know, not consecutive days, but usually it's 3 12s at a hospital anyway. And I think part-time would be considered 2 days in a row, so like 24-ish hours. And I think I may consider starting there, because I'm also considering, right? Nothing set in stone, but I'm getting closer and closer to making like the final decision that I want to homeschool my children. I feel like that's something that is, I guess it's becoming more and more common and becoming more and more normal. I guess especially ever since the C word, right? A lot of people started doing that kind of unintentionally. They kind of had to, and then they decided they loved it and kept doing it. And just for many different reasons, I think I want to try it. And so that's another reason why I don't want to go into work right now, especially being that I don't have to, is that I want to try it out these like preschool years with Tiago. We're already doing stuff now that he would be doing in like a pre-K or daycare type of setting. Like we do worksheets, we do lots of like KiwiCo activities, we do like some Montessori, like typical Montessori activities. We do lots of outdoor play, and I try to keep his mind active. Really, I think that in the pre-K to kindergarten years, it's about growing like an innate love for learning. And so I don't push the book work. I don't push the like typical worksheet stuff. If he's not interested in a worksheet, he doesn't do it. And he's not the type of boy that likes puzzles or anything like that. He's not. He's super rambunctious. He loves to play outside, but he learns better outside. And I've learned that. I'll, hear him outside like digging, and he's, retelling a story that, maybe something that we did yesterday, and he was like counting little cars or whatever it is, but like that's how he learns. He's learning English right now because his only language right now is Spanish. He knows Spanish fluently. And so I'll hear him outside like saying something that he maybe learned on TV, something English. I've lately started letting him listen to more English shows. I used to not, because I didn't want to confuse him at the beginning, right? And so now that I feel like he's got Spanish down really well, I let him listen to more English shows, and he's picking it up like crazy. So that makes me feel good about that. Now, the socialization part is, I think that partly it's kind of bogus, right? Because people like to be like, well, they're not going to be well socialized. They're going to be the weird kid. But I think that the way that I prefer that they socialize is just being around people in daily life, right? So like if we go to the store, they're going to be listening to people and talking to people, different ages, different cultures, different whatever. And I don't think that they necessarily have to be around a bunch of other people or around a bunch of other kids their age for 8 hours a day in order to learn. I think that they might learn with more variety, more more diversity, if they see people and interacts with people of different ages as well. So, and also I do plan on getting him into some kind of activities. He's going to be doing, when he's 4, he's going to be doing some kind of church group and then I might do like a homeschool co-op group 1 day a week for him to be around other kids. But other than that, our daily lives are going to be, I think, enough socialization and enough learning experience for him to have a really good foundation. And then I think I'll make my decision on whether I want to let him go into first grade or even kindergarten. You know, I don't know. We'll see. So I went on a little homeschooling rant, but really I think that's my priority. And I think that answers basically the question of whether I plan on going back to work soon. Not soon, definitely eventually, but this is kind of my priority, is solidifying our homeschool. And then once I feel like I've made my decision whether I am or not, and if I'm not, what school are they going to? And then I can go into work peacefully. Another thing that people have asked is like what department or what type of nursing I want to do. And you guys, it's hard. There are so many choices, and that's something that really excites me, is because I've wanted to be a nurse for a really long time, over a decade. And so I'm really excited to get into it, but I know that there's going to be so much work when I am in nursing that I feel like I can't take it too quickly, because I'll very quickly get immersed in my job, just like I have, you know, before. And it's scary to me to do that when I have little children that I still want to nurture and just be around all the time. But the types of nursing that I'm considering is something around baby and mom. So either nursery or NICU or postpartum or labor and delivery, something around that area. I've seen some hospitals where they switch you from, you know, to different floors or different parts of that floor or whatever. So you get to see a little bit of everything. That would be awesome. I think that's what I want to do. I may try it and then hate it, but I think that's kind of the area where I want to stick to, at least in the beginning. I thought about doing travel nursing, because travel nursing around here is like, you could travel 1 hour and it be considered travel nursing and you get money. But I think you have to have a little bit of experience working as an RN before you start traveling. I think like 1 or 2 years, because you're basically on your own as a travel nurse. So that was a really long-winded answer to the question, but yes, I do. Honestly, with what I know about nutrition now and just everything that I'm learning, I talked in my last vlog about the books that I'm reading, The Big Fat Surprise. I'm rereading Why We Get Sick, Toxic Superfoods, and this other one that's not diet related. But just everything that I'm learning about diet and nutrition and about the shady science that backs all of this up, science, right? I'm scared to go into nursing, into a part of nursing where it would require me to give really bad advice to my patients. So that part, like, it does scare me a little bit. Like, I don't want to just do a job just for the money. Like, I want to really enjoy and love my job and feel like I'm making a difference, and actually like helping my patients. You know, I wouldn't do any good at a weight loss clinic, because I'm sure that entails some kind of, you know, semi-starvation thing. Like I've known someone who worked at a weight loss clinic, and that's basically what it is like pills and like Ozempic or whatever, and really shitty diet advice and exercise, like a ton of exercise. And I don't know, I just don't agree with that stuff, obviously, anymore. So I think high fat, high protein is kind of the way to go, or moderate protein, but just those things need to be prioritized, and society doesn't think that way. Anyway, that was enough chattiness. Thanks for sticking through it. I will see you when I make dinner. I forgot to mention what I think I decided on for dinner. I have 3 I think almost 3 pounds, which is not a lot, but almost 3 pounds of this thin sliced chicken breasts from Aldi, thawing out. And I think I'm going to bread it with a mix of this carnivore crisp flour and pork rinds, because I have a food processor. I used to not do pork rinds that much because my food processor broke, but I got a new one and I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna do probably a mix of pork rinds and this stuff, maybe some seasonings, and then we're gonna bread our chicken breast. And I might eat it with some homemade guacamole or a salad on the side, something like that. This is the new food processor that I got. It's a mix of stuff. So it's got a little food processor and also a hand blender. I needed one of these because I want to make broccoli cheddar soup again. But it is really convenient to have this to break up the broccoli with, and just for other stuff as well. Like if you want to make salsa, I think you can use it for guac, things like that. So I got this thing. I really am just more excited about the food processor. What I need it to do is break up the pork rinds really well, because these stick in my blender. Like I tried to break these up in my blender and it's just not the same. So let's see how this works. Look at how fine it left it. It's like almost powdery. I don't know if you can tell. Looks almost like brown sugar or something. It's super fine and powdery. No big pieces. I love it. I waited way too long to get a working food processor. All right, this is what I'm seasoning with. Salt, pepper, cumin, garlic powder, and just a little sprinkle of some ground chipotle powder.